Hi guys, welcome to episode 3, Dai Good Talk, Dai Good Soca, right? And we have a very special guest, by the name of Simon Delph. Simon Sayo Delph. Introduce yourself.
Simon Sayo. Well, actually, the middle name is not Sayo. So Simon Maxwell Joseph Delph.
Right?
And Sayo is just the nickname I grew up with.
Okay, well, tell us how Sayo came about. Like that nickname. Like, who gave it the nickname?
Growing up home, instead of saying Simon, you be outside with your partners and your friends and you're playing sports. Instead of going through the whole Simon pass the ball, Simon go across there, just Sayo, so the name just stuck ever since now.
Right.
Growing up in Couva, so that's where the name actually came from, Sayo.
Okay. And so, tell me, how do you identify as a soca artist? Or is it way more complex than that? Is soca your hobby or soca is who you are?
Good question. I believe when I started, I would have been a little more rigid or regimented with the music. And as I grew into myself and the art form, I started to get more into entertainment.
Right.
So I look at myself now as an entertainer, not just as a soca artist, but also as an entertainer.
Right.
And I find with that now, I am more, I'm relaxed and I'm enjoying it.
Right.
So I tend to really enjoy what I'm doing now. As I said before, was trying to make sure you get this done, get that done. It has to be done a particular way.
Right.
When you go to perform, you go to interviews.
Yeah.
So that's why I like this kind of vibes. It's just me being normal.
Yeah. So, I mean, you said back then, we're talking about since 2011. As far as I know.
12, 11 years, somewhere around there.
That's a long time. We're talking about over 12 years.
I took to be in all honesty, I took like 2-year break.
Right.
Then another year. Well, COVID was automatic.
Automatic for everybody.
And then I took 2 years in between that. I didn't release music consistently within that time.
Okay.
I was going through a little spell of finding myself and also when I did music, I wasn't able to release at that point in time.
Right.
Based on the whole dynamics of the situation.
Right.
So I took a little break.
So tell us about how the journey started, because most times you will hear my dad was a musician or my mother was a singer or the family just, come from music. Tell us how you got involved in music.
Well, I mean, growing up in Couva, we always around music, heavily influenced with reggae, dancehall, and also our culture, soca. So I was always an avid student of the music. I love music. I love all genres of music. More so, as I say, Trinbagonians are heavily influenced with dancehall, reggae.
Very diverse.
Correct. Hip hop, R&B. But I was more on the dancehall and reggae vibes, and also soca. So, if I could recall back when growing up in secondary school, and when Bungie Garlic would have come out with I think Send Them Rhythm Mad.
Yeah.
Send Them Rhythm Mad. I think even when Marshall dropped his Big Chuck song.
Yeah.
I was intrigued.
So tell us about the age there, because you're calling some classics there, right?
Yeah.
So what secondary school you went to?
I went to Tranquility Government Secondary in Port of Spain.
Okay.
Yeah,
so the connection to music was very organic.
I mean, growing up with it, as I said, from even growing up home.
Yeah. You're just around to the music.
Yeah, we always love music. We always love music. And as I say, experiencing that era of seeing those guys at that level doing what they did.
Yeah.
Or what they're currently still doing.
So that was the inspiration.
That would have been one of the main critical inspirations.
Yeah.
As well as heavily involved into events around 2000 and let's say 7, 8. One of my close friends, Quindel Brasnell, we came up with a promotion team called Premium Crew.
Right.
So we'd have been doing a lot of events.
Yeah.
So I mean, liking music and loving music and being around music and then now being part of events.
It just all comes together naturally.
Naturally. And it fell into place.
But at what point in time you decided, I might have a good voice, Or do you write your music?
Well, yeah, so I sit down, I write, I co-write. I will also take music from other writers as well too, So I like to put...
When was it like, sorry to cut you, but like your first writing experience, or your first moment where you bust a tune and somebody say, or you say, the song is Good Boy.
That will actually be one of my first songs. Boy, I feel it now. I can't say I feel shame because in order to reach where you have to reach, you have to take that first step.
Right.
And that was a song called Pogo Stick. I mean, don't go and look for it on YouTube, please.
No, but we have to.
And-
We're going to insert a little clip here now.
You know,
called Pogo Stick.
and that was one of the first songs that I actually sat down with and we did. That was my first step into it. And after that was a song called Real Friends. So those are the first two songs that I did, Real Friends. But I penned for myself with other my close friends as well too. And I mean,
So it was like a chilling in school thing, or you're home.
We was home because
Right.
as I mentioned Quindle, when I gave Quindle the idea about doing music, he was like, "You serious?" I said, "Yeah." He thought about it. And I mean, you need friends like that in life, you know, to really give it our support.
Right.
Because he didn't know where we were going to go. I didn't know where we were going to go. I didn't expect to be where I am at today. But he believed and he supported
So what
me.
role he was playing at that time?
But he
Just
was
the
doing-
supportive friend?
He was doing everything. I mean,
Really?
believe it or not, Quindle. It's funny enough because Quindle Brasnell, boy, he would have done everything with me. From writing to going into the studio to putting up money out of our pockets to get the mixed and masters done. Even going up on stage and perform.
Really?
There was one. He was doing everything. I used to call him a 1-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So like which one of your earlier performances you could recall sharing the stage with him, and it was just like, wait, but we really doing this?
That was an event down Chagramas. And I never forget that. I think it was Kevin X Custodian.
Right.
He was the MC to bring me on.
Right.
And I went on to perform. And I was performing. And I was getting booed. I was getting booed.
It happened.
I was getting booed. And I was getting pelt.
What party was this?
I can't remember the name of
But
the
down in
event.
Chagaramas?
Yeah, it was done by
It was like
Peter Mitchell
carnival.
Mass Camp. Yeah, it was a
Right,
carnival
right.
event.
Right.
And no, I wasn't getting pelted any big soul or anything to really damage you.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Felt about like, what you doing? Boy, come off the stage now, boy, come off the stage and pelted me. And all I can remember is that 1 minute I by myself, next minute Quindle on the stage with me.
Ride or die.
He is singing. Oh boy, can't hold on notes. And we just doing it together.
Yeah.
And I remember it was just boy laughing and that's boy it was a vibe. That was a whole.
Okay, we could laugh at it now.
Yeah, yeah.
You and him, you'll probably laugh at it so many times.
Yeah, we did.
But how did it feel in that moment? Because I'm assuming, not assuming, but I mean, safe to say this is when it was now started out.
Yes.
And getting that experience on the stage, what did that do to the mental, to the psyche, to the vision?
Funny enough, I didn't feel anyway.
Right.
Because I believe when you're putting yourself out into something new, or anything you want to do new, you're only as good as you are at that point in time.
Right.
I know I had to grow. I know I had to experience certain things. So it was cool.
Right.
I didn't really feel anyhow. And Trinbagonian crowds are very hard.
Tough.
If you're not popular, if they're not relevant, if you're not a familiar face, it is going to be difficult to break in or break through. One of the things that gave me a little motivation is that a few ladies in front, they were telling me, don't study them, you keep performing. You don't study
That's
them.
all you really need.
Yeah, and there was about 3 of them, they just tell me, yo, you go ahead, you perform, and I didn't feel anyhow. You know?
Because Trini's not ungrateful, you know, because it's new. They like to say, we don't have anything new. We don't have anything different. We don't have people coming with the passion who want to commit to the performance. And then they'll get somebody new on stage.
Yeah.
And it's just like, who is this? But I'm guilty. But I mean, that's just as they say, a Trinbagonian crowd is very difficult.
It is part of the process. And I mean, I've accepted it for what it is. I didn't, as I said, I didn't feel anyhow.
Right.
I didn't feel bad. I didn't get a knock on my chin and my ego. Wait, I can't do this again, boy. You're public speaking. I mean, that's a big fear
Yeah.
for a lot of individuals,
Yes.
public speaking. So
Yes.
imagine now performing at that level.
Correct.
At that platform. And
How old were you at that time?
I was like 27, 28, somewhere
Right.
around there.
Okay.
27, 28,
So not
yeah.
too young, not too old.
Yeah.
It could have thrown off anybody because again, you're in front of a crowd in Chagaramas. There's a big stage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you said there were the 3 ladies at the front, but obviously at that moment, deep down in your heart, you say, well, all right, you get up and you go again.
Yeah.
What characteristics of your personality you think is what makes you who you are as a resilient artist after all this time?
Well, that would use resilient. I mean, after doing what I've been doing for the past couple of years, I mean, you have to build up some sort of mental fortitude to deal with the obstacles that comes along and still being able to push on, still looking to make inroads in what you love to do, which is music. I have a passion to entertain. So even after going through that first initial experience, I still know in the back of my head that, I feel I still have more to offer.
Right.
I know I have more to offer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So most soca artists, because of the fact that soca is seasonal,
Yeah.
everybody has something else going on. So in your case, you have a full-time job, correct?
Yeah, yes, correct.
How has it been prioritizing your love for music and going through life itself with whatever your day-to-day? I don't want to get into your personal life too much, but how has it been navigating?
I mean, it's putting things as priority and what needs to be done. You make sure you do what you need to do, even if it means going to work and putting in my hours and going the extra mile. I do what I have to do. So I tend not to have too much issues where that's concerned, thank God. You know, it has been very accommodating. I mean, I normally, if I'm working, I will ask for a couple hours off, go to do an interview, go back to work. I that kind of discipline.
Right.
I wouldn't ask for no time off.
Right.
Unless it's really needed.
Right.
You know, and it has been flexible and I was able to manage.
But how has it been juggling it with your peers? Because I know you're into fitness, correct?
Yeah.
So we have fitness. You're in the service.
Yes,
Service.
yeah.
And you mentioned being an entertainer, which sort of melts in with being a soca artist, but it isn't.
Yeah.
That is in itself public speaking.
Yes.
It's an endeavor of its own, being a
Yes.
master of ceremonies.
Yes.
So like, okay, probably the soca and the master of ceremonies ties in together, but being in something as rigid, as strict, as commanding and demanding in terms of like this being a serviceman, and then even the fitness. That fitness journey is serious commitment. Like, how do you how do you decide which one is your real passion?
Well, I mean, everything that I do, it falls into play. It's who I am. I wouldn't do one without the other. Funny enough, I manage it perfectly well.
Right.
You know, the fitness journey is one of discipline.
Right.
The fitness journey is one of endurance, just as the musical career, just as my personal career, as where my job is concerned. Everything is discipline. Everything is being committed, being focused, being steadfast. So I believe that doing all, it came naturally.
So and it sort of helped or complemented each other.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
having the discipline with those things,
Yes.
definitely, it drives you with your career.
Yes.
What I was basically getting at is, you've been in the industry for quite some time, and you made mention of, you're wanting to be at a different space,
Yeah.
way more mainstream.
Yeah.
Like essentially, sometimes, some persons will sacrifice their job and their this to put the drive there. So essentially the question is, do you feel as though balancing it all or committing to the different things is the cost of not being mainstream at this stage?
That could be very critical. That could be so. Just yesterday, I was having a conversation with some of my coworkers, and I was saying a lot of artists, they give up everything else for their music. So there's something that you have to keep in the back of your mind, that if I'm doing enough or more could be done or more should be done, it's something that I always keep in my mind. So
It's a constant thought.
Yeah, it probably means more could be done. It probably means that I should take a step, or I haven't taken that step to say, hey, how we say it, you go to the island and you burn everything, you burn the bridges, and you just focus on this.
You pour it all out.
You pour everything and you leave it, So, I mean, I haven't done that. I haven't taken that decision, possibly.
But is it something that you feel as though you want to do?
Well, I mean, it always crosses my mind to go head first. Just like throw everything else behind. And it crosses my mind every day, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you perform, actually. I was in a party this weekend, and the energy is there, the performance, the ladies to the front, same thing. So I guess that remain in the formula. Ladies and I'm getting on bad. So, I mean, there's definitely an appreciation for what you're putting out. Because, I mean, no disrespect to other artists, but soca has not always been a genre where you're getting that lyricism. There are certain artists where you can pinpoint and say, okay, you will get the lyrics, you will get the storytelling. But I've listened to, your songs over the years.
Yeah.
And I could definitely tell this is somebody who putting in effort in the writing, in the craft, in the content that being put out.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I mean it there.
Yeah.
The energy, the content. So it's just like, are you satisfied or at peace with how things are now in terms of, okay, what you are putting out as an artist?
I think striving for more. I will always be striving for more. It's just ambition. I mean, we should never really. I mean, you could settle once that's what you really want inside. But I
Right.
believe I want more.
Right.
As you rightfully say, the musical content is good. It could be better. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
In terms of the actual performance, I will always try to push the envelope. I have to work harder. Because I know I'm not where I need to be, so I have to go the extra mile. I have to engage a little more. I'll have to get the contact or the eye contact from patrons in the crowd. I try to make, not try, I will make the contact.
Right.
You know, so I always try to push for more. I strive for more. So I'm very ambitious where that's concerned.
Okay, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something that could be controversial, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a sexy soca artist, which is a woman, they tend to be a little more out there or received than somebody who's probably a little more conservative. So, I mean, objectively, a pretty boy artist, do you feel as though that has worked in your favor or against you on the music scene?
Boy,
Tell us the truth, because you know there are
sometimes
the DJs, there's your peers, and then the promoters. Those are and the audience. Those are the 4 categories to consider.
I mean, I have no control how I was created.
Right.
You know, we have no control over that.
You have no
However,
control.
it feels like a gift and a curse.
Right.
Because I have to, as I say, work even harder.
You feel that's the experience.
I feel like I have to work 10 times harder just to show I probably deserve a chance, you know. I mean, I watched an interview the other day with Kes.
Right.
And Kes mentioned more or less, I think Sonny Bling was interviewing him and talking about being a red man in soca.
Right.
And Kes is he's the man
That
in
is
charge.
the ultimate.
The Red Man Association, he's the man, right?
Yeah.
And Kes said that he himself felt like he had to work hard, and I didn't believe it. I went back on YouTube,
Right.
I kid you not, and pull up Kes songs from 2007, 2006. And ironically, what I'm doing right now, we're back on stage, beating the stage, I'm seeing Kes doing this with his band.
Right.
Rasta boy, we're back. They got son Nadia in the back.
Right.
So Kes has been doing this for years before he got his break. I think it was with Whatless.
Yeah.
He has been doing it. So I feel like, funny enough,
you're paying the dues right now.
It feels like it's just ironic that he said it. I didn't believe it. He said it, and I pulled up the YouTube videos and I saw it for myself. You could go and check it out.
Right.
He with his band, and he was doing like rock.
Yeah.
I mean, R&B, that kind of vibe, but still doing a soca, and he was going all out.
Yeah.
So you have to work hard.
I think anybody who has been following Kes knows where it started, with its certain energy and just being out there. And the same thing you're talking about, back and
I
and
didn't
now he
believe
reached
it.
that stage where he could present himself how he wants to present
He
himself.
is a mainstay.
Yeah.
He's one of the artists I look up to as well too.
Yeah.
You know, so
Because
again,
I know, I think I heard you mention the comparison in the same party.
Yeah.
You get that a lot, the comparisons with Kes.
well, I mean, not vocally, where Kes is a whole different level vocally. However, in terms of you know, the image, the vibe, the energy, you know, that kind of vibes is there. But I mean, I like his songs. I'm a big fan of his songs. Even when I do my tracks, I will do a couple of his songs because it's a song that gets the people going, the audience going.
Yes.
You know, it tends to get the audience wild up. It's very familiar.
Right.
So that's one of my strategies in terms of being an entertainer, as I say.
Right.
I will do that and try and sell it as best as possible.
Right.
It seems to be working so far.
I think it's working.
Yes.
But like, what would you describe your sense of style? Like okay, because I've had these conversations numerous times, and everybody has their different inspirations. But like, if it is, you have to describe your own self. Okay, this is. When I think about myself as an artist, this is what I want people to connect with. This is what I want people to understand about me.
Energetic, charismatic,
Right.
you know, fun, bubbly. I want to be seen from that perspective where you're seeing the artist on the stage. You know,
Right.
he's enjoying it.
Right.
You know, I enjoy it. So that's why I want to be seen as really enjoying what you do.
Right.
Love what you do.
But is that your day-to-day personality?
Yeah, I try to stay optimistic as possible.
Right.
In the face of many challenges, you know, we go through life and we face different obstacles. I tend to stay as positive as possible, to see the things on the brighter side at all times. Always try my best.
So just to touch back on what you were talking about, you feel as though you have to work harder, right? And then we just touched on, you know, the sacrifices, you know, being committed to other things.
Yeah.
At some point in time, you would have taken a break,
Yeah.
a 2-year break, and then there was COVID, and then back out. I believe everybody would have come back out probably 2022. 2021, we had the little carnival in the bubble.
It was
and then
22.
2022. So this is
22,
22,
23.
23, 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, how has the journey been since COVID? Trying to, because I feel as though the atmosphere has changed. After, it's almost as though we almost lost the carnival.
The carnival, yeah.
You know, and then everybody just get re-energized and everybody just come with a whole different
Drive.
quality and drive.
Yeah, drive.
Like, how does it feel trying to penetrate the wave right now?
I guess after not having it for so long, and you recognize it's like you never miss something until you actually lose it.
Right.
So I guess like everybody, even myself, you recognize, yo, this thing was serious. We didn't have it for 2 years. We did something kind of online, carnival vibe, but wasn't like the same essence of the personal touch. Going to the parties, going to the stages, you know, doing the interviews like what we're doing here. You know, it made me feel like, yo, I have to really cherish what you're doing and go even harder because you can never tell what could happen. And the next day, tomorrow is really promised to no one. So that really show you that, hey, 1 minute you have it, 1 minute you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And then coming out of COVID, we realized, at least for some artists, not necessarily all, the social media presence plays a serious role now in terms of like that receptivity with at least the younger audience and even the older audience to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Like, how is your social media presence, or how do you integrate social media in your current journey?
I was guilty of not pressing on social media hard enough. I find it a task
Right.
to record and then edit and then do this and do that, and it was a task. But now I recognize that it has to be done.
You don't have a choice.
I have really increased my presence on social media within the last couple of months and coming up to the end of last year into now. You know, so I've been putting in that work where that social media is concerned.
Tell everybody where they could get you on your social media pages.
Sayo Music TT, everything SYO Music
This is
TT. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
Right, great.
Yeah, Sayo Music TT.
Are you on
YouTube as well too. So my YouTube page is Sayo Music TT as well.
Okay, good. So you
everything.
definitely would have cranked up at the end of 2024.
As you said,
no choice.
no choice. We had to get with it. But it's so hard to sit down and, I mean, to come out as a creative, where music is concerned, you should be I was really concerned about finding a song, getting the music correct, finding the correct tracks, mix and master, recording, that kind of stuff. No, I have to go and create content to push the same music I want to get out. Or you will be left behind. There's no choice. There's no choice.
And how do you have any alliances, or what are your relationships like right now in the music industry?
Alliances. I'm good with everyone.
Right.
Mutual respect. Some will be better with than others of artists in particular. You know, Dev. I mean, I'm a shout out to Dev.
Right.
He has been around since I started. I mean, he would have done it a little bit before me.
Yeah.
You know, but he would have been someone that knocked ideas off a little bit. In terms of the producers and writers, Kit Israel,
Right.
as advocate, Emmanuel Rudder. These are writers that we have a very good relationship with. Second Star, he would have did one of my main tracks.
Great artist. Great writer.
Great writer, great artist. Actually, I have a song that we were supposed to do together a couple of years back, but that never materialized.
Right.
Still have it in my inbox
in the drive.
in the drive, yeah, and we could do something, you know. So I mean, we have a very cordial relationship with all Pretty, good with Pretty as well too, you know.
So it very much is not that the relationship's not there.
No, it's there.
It's there. It's just a matter of penetrating and running with it.
Consistency and perseverance,
Right.
you know, that's something that I know I keep in the forefront of my mind.
So are you satisfied with the effort that was put in 2024 for what you have placed out as your contributions for 2025? Because I know you have
Two
two
songs.
songs
Yeah,
out. This
yeah.
shout out the name of this.
Today and a song called Freedom.
Right.
Today and Freedom.
How you feel about those two contributions right now?
For what they are, yes, very confident and happy about it. You know, always wish for them to get
A little more
recognition, a
yeah.
little more airplay, a little more everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I within myself and the team that we did this work or these two projects together. Shout out to Golden Era Production. He's my main producer on both tracks. Emmanuel Rudder, Gershwin Alexander, and even JP, Trinidad artist, tough writer. From South as well too. So we are all comfortable with what we did.
Right.
You know, in terms
And I mean,
of,
it's great songs. I heard them.
yeah.
You know, it's good, but the reality is, it's just a lot of good music.
Correct.
So
Every
it's so
year.
easy to get overshadowed in the midst of, you know, mainstream.
Yeah.
And then when they have the DJs repeating the same things over and over and over, you know,
playlist.
you hardly get a DJ who want to give the
something new.
yeah,
A little,
add a little mix because you're going to a party and everybody want to play the same things over and over. You know, it's taken away from the whole experience of the party.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've grown to understand and accept.
Right.
To a point. You know, as I say, I'll always want to get a song in a mix. So sometimes when I talk to DJs, you know, give me some feedback.
Yeah.
What's your feedback on the track?
Yeah.
What you think about the track? Just to hear what their mindset is at.
Yeah.
We try to figure out now, well, yo, the song could be in a mix, you know, the song, it could cool, it could be right there, you know, why not?
But as an artist, Lord, I don't want to be too controversial because I saw a clip recently, and it's a very popular. I don't know. I know there's the DJ and then there's the mic man. So I'm not sure which one he was. So he was being interviewed, and they were asking him about, you know, how he feels about why certain artists who do more positive, you know, songs and tracks don't get that forward. And his feedback was, you know, if it's controversial, if the people don't want it, the people don't like it. And he had referenced some artists.
Yeah.
And one of the artists that he referenced was quite offended because it's just like, what are you talking about? It all comes down to the contribution of the DJ.
Correct.
You know, like, y'all are the ones who will make it controversial to a certain degree. I mean, if the message is off, the message is off. But I mean, that play and putting it out to the public, it definitely comes from that influence with the DJs. And you feel that way as well?
Yeah, I mean, the DJs and the announcers have a critical part to play in any song. And first, I mean, yes, the average listener could go up on YouTube and pull it up and hear it for themselves, but there's a different feel with the radio.
Yeah.
You know, when the radio actually plays a song, and soca in particular, I mean, not like other genres where you don't really depend as much because you could go on YouTube, and I think Trinidad would have been a big movement. Radio has been playing that, and you could literally go on YouTube and you could get to hear it.
Yeah.
You could go on Audio Mac, SoundCloud, you get to hear everything, but soca is different.
Yeah.
You know, soca, most artists look to get their songs out to the masses via that platform.
Right.
You could have your social media presence.
Yeah.
You could have 10,000, 20,000 followers, but you still need that presence on the radio. So yes, when this sound reaches the DJ and the announcer, they have a critical part to play if they feel the song or not.
Yeah.
To push it out to the masses.
I don't know, like the maths, it's crazy because I like how you mentioned that. So, I mean, I feel as though I'm still a young girl, right?
Yeah.
But the younger
You
generation,
are, why not? You are, yeah.
the younger generation, right? If I'm chilling with my nieces and nephews, same Trinidad.
Yeah.
I don't hear those songs on the
No, you
radio,
don't.
but they know the tunes. So same thing we mentioned, like you go on YouTube and they getting that forward and they getting that traction there.
Yeah.
However, with soca, it's a whole different story.
It's not like that.
It's very much dependent on the radio.
Correct, because it's our culture as well too. I mean, we are strong on the calypso and soca. I mean, that is, believe it or not, that is our culture. And so when that Christmas switch comes into play and songs start to get rotation, that's why a lot of artists like myself who are not as mainstream tend to drop a little earlier before the carnival.
Yeah. So
Before the Christmas period.
Right.
To get a little hearing.
You're right.
You're
You
playing
won't
for
get
the-
lost in the sauce.
You're playing for the September, October market to get some, you know.
Okay, that's a nice tune. Yeah.
September,
yeah.
it's
It's
the
a little
September
groove.
market. Yeah, you're looking for that vibe right there now.
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Yeah, you're looking
Okay.
for that vibe there.
Yeah. And it's just like, how do you feel? I mean, some people, they're just true to true to the formula, but how do you feel about that infiltration with the Trinidad times soca, like that crossover that we experienced?
I like it actually. I mean, it's good.
You ever feel as though you want to drop a Trinidad?
I actually have one of the artists as a friend, so we will be doing
I feel
something.
so,
Yeah,
I feel so.
But the vibes is nice. It's music.
Yeah.
As I said, when I started it, I'm a lover of music. You know, I like music, so it doesn't matter. It's a matter of time.
Well, okay. So tell us a bit about. You said you're also a master of ceremonies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about that experience, because I mean I don't think it's anything that anybody knows about you unless they go somewhere and see you.
See me doing it, yeah.
Yeah. So how you got into that?
It was actually my sister-in-law.
Right.
I like to talk. So I like to talk. I like to engage.
Yeah.
I like to engage. It's something that I really like to do. So she was like, boy, why don't you come and try to do a hosting for what? A wedding. Dead serious, a wedding.
Right.
I see, you feel like I pull it off, but you like to talk, so.
Yeah.
And I went out. I got my guide more or less.
Yeah.
Who I should be talking about my salutations more or less to make sure I got that correct. Practice that 2-3 times.
Yeah.
And hit the floor, and everything came natural.
Yeah.
And it was just like momentum after that. One thing lead to the next. I did that wedding. I did like a little sports day, which was successful. I did Southwest Regional Health Authority. I did their whole carnival calypso competition, which that was a success as well too. So everything came naturally. As I said, it's something that I like to do. And public speaking, I'm not really worried about facing the audience. And,
Yeah. That's all going like that.
Yeah. So I'm an introvert, but I'm an extrovert at the same time.
Right.
You know, so engaging is something I don't really mind.
Okay.
You know.
So, what is the big dream for yourself as an artist? I feel as though everybody has like, okay, this is the ultimate. The last time when Dev was here, he really wanted, his show is
coming up, I think the 16th.
Yeah. And it felt as though, definitely a milestone.
Yeah.
Like, what is a major milestone for you in your career right now?
You know, coming up, when I started the music, coming up, honestly, one of the main things I would have looked at was Soca Monarch. You know, I was successful at semifinals twice. And the dream was actually to make our finals.
Right.
Just have a song and touch the biggest stage in Trinidad and Tobago. And
because everybody's
really
looking at that stage. That's
I mean, that's a big spot to showcase what you can do as an entertainer, as an artist. So that was always one of my dreams in terms of the music.
Right.
Soca Monarch.
So how you feel about the lack of, I don't know what is the issue with us, like the support for that competition. Like I don't know why it seems as though we just can't get it right in terms of the artists wanting to participate, in terms of getting that audience to attend. Like what do you think is the issue?
I'm not too sure what is the issue, but I mean, we like things that we're familiar with, I guess. And I mean, a couple of years where we tried to change it, it was new. So I do think we were very receptive to it.
Is that when Fian and Bungie and they tried to do it that one year, I believe?
Yeah, I think that was a year we tried something different.
I think they were managing it.
Yeah,
and then
Trinbagonians are very hard to please, so that didn't that didn't really settle good with everyone.
Because there's another island where anybody knows, like is a Dai Soca Monarch competition or there. Is it Grenada?
Grenada.
Watch now.
Grenada.
Set of frauds in here, boy. No kind of soca love in here. Yeah, but they have a serious competition, and it's like I will do my due diligence.
We gotta check on that, but we gotta do some research.
Yeah, I'll have to. But the receptivity and the other islands for that
culture.
For the culture.
Could be St. Vincent.
I don't know, but all I know is it was recent, and I know there was lots of major admiration. I think it's Grenada. Yeah. Where's Mr. Killer from?
Grenada.
Yes.
It says Grenada.
Right. When he come out, he's the king. I know for a fact, like the receptivity and the adoration for even winning that type of competition, it's just like it's major. Yeah.
It's huge.
And then we like the self-proclaimed Mecca.
Mecca of Carnival.
And we just not on it at all.
I mean, even like up the islands, their vibes different. They party vibes when you see artists like Skinny and Problem Child and Mr. Killer perform outside. There's a different
It's a different type of
kind of
energy.
energy, you know. So I mean, that's something that's on all that stimulate me.
Right.
It's like, yo, that is the vibe.
Right.
That is a type of energy is really kind of touch. I mean, that's the front, yo.
Okay. So, I mean, I thank you for coming today because, as you rightfully say, we have so many artists who, you know, the contribution is there, the talent, the material, you know, but just wanting to break through and be mainstream. And we wish you all the best in those endeavors. I mean, you're out here. I think people just need to embrace new music.
Something different.
Yeah, they just need to stop giving the red man a hard time. Give him man a chance, you know?
I guess I say it's part of it. So I take my challenges, keep my chin up.
Right. Because they have the right energy and the right personality fit, as you rightfully mentioned. But shout out to your pages again.
Right. So it's Saya Music TT Instagram, Saya Music TT TikTok,
Right.
Saya Music TT Facebook, Saya Music TT YouTube. Okay. Subscribe. Follow.
Great.
Yes.
But before we wrap up, I have a quick trivia for you. No, you don't be dragging out the thing, because you say...
That money involved?
Oh,
Are you motivated now, boy? What would in here?
No, the motivation here is just being good at it. It's a would you rather.
Would you rather?
Don't overthink the thing. It's A or B. Okay?
Yes.
Would you rather? Paint or mud?
Mud.
Road march or soca mana?
Road. Road.
Right.
I like mass.
If you had to give up the rum or give up fetting?
Rum.
You're giving
I
up the
can
rum?
fetting our sober head. I fetting
He's a
hard
fitness
on our
man.
sober
That was
head.
an easy one. That was an easy one.
Fetting hard on our sober head.
Sando or tongue? For the carnival.
Salt is love, but tongue. I can't give
Tread
up that
lighter,
appetite.
salt is love,
I can't
you
give
know,
up that
salt.
St. James. I can't give up that St. James. That crap on that Tuesday when that sun setting. Oh Lord, that is it. That is it.
Hey, you can't give it up.
Can't give up tongue. No, can't give up tongue. But salt is love.
Salt is love.
Yeah.
We have two more. Lose your voice on stage or forget your song lyrics?
I feel like I forget, lose my voice.
Yeah, you can still wing it.
Yeah,
You can still ask the audience to sing a tune for you, you know?
Lose my voice.
And one last one. Reds or browning?
Down no darky there?
Good answer. Good answer. Put a little darky here. So,
Down no darky there?
yeah, I feel it's reds or
question,
darky. Reds is, yeah, they're trying to trick you.
Darkies.
Good.
Yes.
But thank you so much for coming.
No problem.
If there's anything you want to let Trinidad and Tobago know about you, Sayo, you can let them know now. Face this camera.
Just go check out the music. Check out your boy Sayo. Go check out all my songs from this year Carnival. Today, TODAY is a song. Freedom is a song. Indie is a song. My Life is a song. Just
Yeah.
go check out all my music. Let
out
me
the
know what you
music.
think. Just go check me out.
Good.
I appreciate it.
Great. Great vibes.
All right.
Thanks, guys.